what I mean, Vern? And we're live this morning here in Dalton, Georgia. Now, we didn't go up to the courthouse this morning because we got to talk to the sheriff yesterday. Good morning, Misfit Mayhem, Leah, Bovia, Enchanted Princess, Big Boy Georgia. Good morning to you all. It is great to see you all this morning. Hope that you all are having a very blessed day thus far. Thank y'all so much for them hearts. I really appreciate it. We've got 10 people shows here and 7 likes. Now, old Judge Jack Partain didn't want to get out of his car yesterday. Now, I wouldn't doubt that he don't try to retaliate against me for what I said about him when I go back in front of him on July the 25th, but that's all right. If he was to choose to try any retaliatory tactics, I will be sure to hold his ass accountable for that as well. You know what I mean, Vern? We are just out and about, sitting here right next to the Welcome to the City of Dalton, Georgia sign. Thought we would look and see what's going on out here this morning. We had an ambulance come by right off the bat. We got somebody blowing the horn. Good morning to whoever that was. What's up? Columbia Recycling Corporation. EagleNick. Oh, this, you know what I mean, Vern? And the fella there in that Columbia Recycling Corporation truck is waving at us. I wish that gal driving that vehicle would have waved at us. Now, she turned right on red when she wasn't supposed to, but I'm not a police. Oh, yes, definitely malicious prosecution. I've already had malicious prosecution and judicial misconduct from the district attorney's office as well as the judge himself. You know what I mean, Vern? Now, I was supposed to have been tried by Judge Burt Poston, who was a former prosecutor for Whitfield County, Dalton, Georgia, the state of Georgia. Yet they had my first trial. I was tried by a retired judge, Judge Jack Partain, who had been retired for over 8 years. Now they are taking me back in front of the same judge again on July the 25th up here at this kangaroo courthouse. I'm just going to start calling any of them judges that works in our Captain Kangaroo. You know what I mean, Vern? It's a beautiful day in the hood, neighbor. You know what I mean, Vern? Dalton is ready ice. You know what I mean, Vern? Where they at? Good morning, Tubal Kane. They do that because they are sure they will get a conviction with them crooked retired judges. They know that them retired judges will do what they want them to do. You cannot get a fair trial when you got a crooked judge and a crooked DA or a crooked district attorney's office. It wasn't just one crooked district attorney. There was two of them at my trial. Well, there is malicious prosecution as well as judicial misconduct. It is also official misconduct under the color of law. Now that car there, boy, I tell you, you're mighty brave, dude. That light was red as heck. But hey, it's only a crime if you get caught. You know what I mean, Vern? But unfortunately for him, you see right there, they got a traffic camera. So that traffic camera definitely caught that man turning right when he wasn't supposed to. So he can be sure that there will be a ticket in the mail. Good morning, bovine excrement. How you doing this morning? Sounds like a bunch of cow shit to me. You know what I mean, Vern? EagleNick don't sugarcoat. I call it what it is. That bovine excrement sounds like a bunch of cow patties. Now that guy doing that mowing over there, that's got to be either the Dalton Public Works or definitely somebody within our government out here mowing the right of way. I figured that was elongated muskrat by the colors, but look, we got our first Volkswagen coming by. Doodlebug, 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 you know what I mean, Vern? Every time a doodlebug comes by, somebody's got to send EagleNick a super. Now, I really enjoyed talking to Sheriff Darren Pierce yesterday up at the Whitfield County Courthouse. He seemed to be a genuinely nice enough guy. I've not heard anything bad about Sheriff Darren Pierce of Whitfield County. I did vote for him. Now, I didn't get to vote for him in the main election when he was running against Sheriff Darren Chitwood, but I did vote for him during the Republican primary, to where there was about 6 or 7 different people vying for the Republican Party's ticket to be run for sheriff of Whitfield County. But they did not deliver my absentee ballot to the Whitfield County Detention Center. Now, as I said, that lady at the jail that was over that, She said that they did not deliver the ballots like they were supposed to. Good morning, Alan Davis. Now, there is normally a lot of Dalton Police Department, Whitfield County Sheriff's Department, and sometimes even the Georgia State Patrol comes by this way. You might even see Murray County Sheriff's Office or any sheriff's office from the state of Georgia could be coming through. They head down Walnut Avenue coming to and from Dalton. I hear one of my crow buddies sounds mighty close. The Real Deal Meal, Logan's Roadhouse, $11.99. I need to put some advertisement on that electronic billboard for EagleNick. Oh, this, you know what I mean, Vern? I wonder what it costs to rent an ad on that billboard. I tell you what, I bet they are glad that I'm not up there in front of the courthouse this morning. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. There's one of my crow buddies. Two of them. I knew they was close. I could hear them. We're going to try to keep this live stream relatively short this morning. When I let them run for too long, it just takes forever in a day for them to process and upload. Please be sure to subscribe if you have not already done so. Make sure to check out the new shorts I did where I met Sheriff Darren Pierce. I wish I had been close enough to that Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer that I sat and talked to where everybody would have been able to hear what he was saying clearly, but I didn't want to get out in the roadway because they would have been somebody trying to start trouble because of it, saying, y'all need to arrest him, he's blocking traffic. You know what I mean, Vern? Now, we did not have any negative interaction at the courthouse yesterday, but like I said, Judge Jack Partain didn't want to get out of his car. He must have slipped out when they had me distracted with all them other vehicles pulling in, and then that city sweeper truck come up. That was a little bit suspicious that city sweeper truck came up and started sweeping right there by where I was. He did not sweep all the way down the road down through there. It's like they were attempting to try to run me off the sidewalk to get me out of the way from the side to where Jack Partain had parked. Aha, that's what it is. We didn't have on all messages again. But this is one of the busiest intersections in Dalton, Georgia. One of them. I mean, it gets a lot busier in certain areas. And I thought I had already turned on all messages, but it was still on top messages, so I had to go in and reset it. I apologize if I missed anyone. We're showing 26 people here with only 12 likes. Be sure to double tap your screen to give EagleNick the like. Good morning, Bobby Ridley. How are you doing this morning? Check out that little red car. What kind of car is that? Anybody know? That sure does look weird. That is one weird, small-looking ride. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Fred Hinkle. But be sure to check out my shorts from yesterday at the courthouse where I talked to Sheriff Darren Pierce. Was that a Mini Cooper? Well, that is the weirdest looking Mini Cooper I've ever seen. I've seen many Mini Coopers that could identify what it was right off the bat, but that little red vehicle, I just could not figure it out. There we got Prime Incorporated. You know what I mean, Vern? Amazon. Springfield, Missouri. Thank you, Pam. I'm glad y'all been watching my content. Good morning. morning. Good morning. Please be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment on as many of my shorts, videos, and past live streams as you possibly can and or will. You know what I mean, Vern? But we are live here in Dalton, Georgia, the carpet capital of the world, located 90 miles due north of Atlanta, Georgia. Now we have carpet, crooks, and cops, and we got many crooked cops that is on the carpets. You know what I mean, Vern? We're doing our best to cull as many of them bad apples as we possibly can. Now there's a Dalton Utilities big old truck coming by hauling one of them transformers. Good morning, Hunter. How you doing? Haji Hunter, how you doing? Great to see you this morning. As of yet, we've not seen any Dalton Police or Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officers driving by yet. Coming up on 23 minutes. Yeah, I figured we would give the courthouse a rest for today. I'm sure they're glad. They're mighty glad that I'm not at the courthouse this morning. We're showing 52 people here on the live stream with only 13 likes. Double tap your screen to give a like if you're on a mobile phone. It doesn't cost anything to give a like, and even if you don't like EagleNick, that still got the word like in there. You know what I mean, Vern? This guy parked here turning left to be lucky if that, well, maybe that light at the sensors will still pick his truck up because he's not all the way past the stop line. Let's see if it gives a green arrow. Yep, he got lucky. It actually gave a green arrow that time. Now, when they pull all the way across that stop line, if there's not anybody else at the stop line, that light will not give a green turn signal. You got that right, Hunter. Ernest was. You know, you can still watch his videos and stuff. Now, I love to watch his old commercials here on YouTube. You can find his old commercials for Mellow Yellow, for the power company in different places, as well as his movies. We're just chilling like a villain. You know what I mean, Vern? No, we do not have an agenda. Uh-oh, there's a second doodlebug, a red one. Doodlebug, doodlebug. Everybody, feel free to use them super chats, super thanks, and super stickers. You know what I mean, Vern? They are active. Citizens Carpet Service. And there's a Shaw Industries van, and there's Dalton Utilities right behind them there. That blue stripe down the vehicle. That is one of our utilities. And I waved at him, but he didn't wave back. Let's go over here and get where you can see the side of his truck. Dalton Utilities, you know what I mean, Vern? Stealing taxpayers' money for forever and a day. Good morning, Will. From Nova Scotia, Canada, and good morning to you, Big Boy, Georgia. Yeah, I guess all them there protesters finally protested out. You know what I mean, Vern? Good morning, Jugalassus. How you doing this morning, Jug? Great to see you, brother. There goes a crooked mail carrier. Now, I usually always say there goes a crooked mail carrier, because in my eyes, they ain't none of them that is not crooked. Now, the postmaster here in Dalton, Georgia, stole my Cash App card. Probably got it up on a dartboard throwing darts at it along with my mug shot. There's a Brown's Towing from Resaca, Georgia. I was going to say I've never heard of it around here, but it is from Resaca. Let me give you a little bit of a history report on Resaca, Georgia. Now, Resaca, Georgia got its name by a local legend said by an Indian. Somebody had asked it, took the chief of that lived down in Resaca, a bride, and she had a sack over her head. And when they took it off, he said, "Resaca, Resaca." And that is how Resaca got its name, because of that ugly Indian woman. You know what I mean, Vern? You know, there's a lot of good-looking women out there, but there's a lot of them that's pretty ugly. There's some of them you got to wear a bag over your head, you got to make them wear a bag over their head. But then there's some of them that's so doggone ugly, you got to wear a bag over your head too in case hers comes off. You know what I mean, Vern? But I'm sure there are many women would say, "Oh, EagleNick is a three-sacker." You know what I mean, Vern? I'd have to have two sacks on, and they'd have to be wearing one themselves. People say I'm no good and crazy as a loon. 'Cause I get stoned in the morning, I get stoned in the afternoon. Kinda like an old blue tick hound, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but a damn sure got it made. And I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, you just leave old EagleNick alone. I don't think his dude want to turn till that light changes. He act like he was going to till he seen that there Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer turning north headed toward town. Well, we've had two different fire department vehicles. There was one came by. There's one across the road. There was a Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer turned left here off Walnut Avenue, headed up Thornton Avenue towards downtown Dalton. That is the Dalton Fire Department. I couldn't tell if that other one that come by was Whitfield County or the city of Dalton. I've got a feeling it's going to be another one of them scorching hot days here in Dalton, Georgia, in the USA. You know what I mean, Vern? But we had a super fine breakfast this morning up there at Providence Ministries. They had grits and scrambled eggs, a piece of bread, and they had bacon, sausage, or ham, I think it was. I got the bacon myself. I always try to get the bacon as long as it's done, it's cooked pretty crispy. I don't like it when they cook it, leave it half raw. But all these people that thinks they're getting by with turning illegally is going to find out in the mail that they was wrong, because that traffic camera right there is sure to catch you if you make an illegal right turn right here. Now, they've got no turn on red on about all four sides, I think. It is a little bit risky to try to turn right on red in certain areas like this, because it's coming up over a hill. You can get plowed real easy. But if the Dalton Police Department or the Whitfield County Sheriff's Department does not observe you turning right illegally, that security camera right up our wheel, that traffic camera, will catch you turning illegally, and you will get a ticket in the mail. You got to remember there is always somebody watching. You know what I mean, Vern? Just because you do not see them does not mean that they do not see you. You know what I mean, Vern? And I love what they got on the front of this taxi right here, Mary's Taxi. In God we trust. They probably got a sticker on there somewhere that says all others pay cash. You know what I mean, Vern? It's a beautiful day in the hood, neighbor. You know what I mean, Vern? Got a little rice burner right here. Check out that thing. I wonder what that is. That is one weird looking SUV pickup truck. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Turd Ferguson. You know what I mean, Vern? Have you heard about the turd? Now there is one turd that's not a public servant. You know what I mean, Vern? Turd Ferguson rents cars and trucks. And I don't think they actually rent cars or trucks anymore. They sold that truck there. These gentlemen driving this truck here utilizes it to do pallets. You see they got some pallets on the back of the truck. Good morning, George O'Grady. How you doing this morning? Great to see you, brother. Please be sure to subscribe if you have not already done so. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out the short I did where I met Sheriff Darren Pierce of Whitfield County yesterday. While I was live at the Whitfield County Courthouse in downtown Dalton, Georgia. You know what I mean, Vern? Now, normally they would have done been 2 or 3 Dalton police officers riding by, as well as multiple Whitfield County Sheriff's Department vehicles. But so far, I've seen one Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer and no Dalton police. So maybe they are avoiding this area. You know what I mean, Vern? If you're scared, just say you're scared. Well, check out this big Wiley Sanders truck lines. Let's hope he can clear this. He's got a green arrow. Look at that, riding up on the curb. See that? Rode right up on that thing. Hoppers, purveyors of steak and seafood. I bet people didn't know what that old EagleNick audits could read to say purveyors. There's a lot of people think old EagleNick is just an inbred hillbilly that don't know how to read, but they are wrong. You know what I mean, Vern? But we are coming up on 42 minutes on the live stream, so I guess we're going to get ready to end it. And old EagleNick is going to head on back toward the Eagle's Nest to give this live stream a chance to process and upload. Now, I pray that you all have a very blessed morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. Check out that old truck there, how it bounces. How they got it set so low it bounces. Take care of yourselves, but please take care of each other. EagleNick. All it. Peace and bacon grease. You know what I mean, Vern? I am EagleNick. And I'm out.